Monday, the 30th day of November, 2015. Last day of the month was it? Month number 11 out of 12. And I have been doing a little bit of working to try to clear off this workbench enough so that I can use it, for the electronic tinkering, which is another one of my, special interests as an autistic, and it was also my former career, was it being in electronics. Before most of the electronics industry got ruthlessly outsourced to the commies in Beijing, by the especially by the lackeys of the Republican political party. I apologize for not having everything plugged in and turned on. Just today I replaced the light, replaced the bulb in my magnifier lamp, magnifier, the lamp, and of course this is with it, pardon the dust with it, but it's my brother's was it dual trace Hitachi analog oscilloscope. It's only DC to 20 megahertz with the delayed sweep function. And here's my good, this is my good with it temperature controlled soldering iron, with it digital, of course. And sorry, but this old triplet multimeter doesn't work anymore, so it's no good. Then up top with it, I've got this with it work lamp for my bench, and this is my Tektronix TDS-210 dual channel digital oscilloscope. My scope is digital. Old scope is digital. My brother's old oscilloscope is analog. Then underneath it, I have a B&K Precision 3020 sweep/function generator that does sweep functions. With it, for doing like things like doing like a shall we say, was it a voltage versus frequency curves. Then underneath it, I have another with it function generator, Instec, that GFG 821, 8215 actually, which is does sine, triangle wave, square wave functions, DC to 1 megahertz. This is like the one above it, the B&K is a DC to 2 megahertz. Then underneath that, that I have my old Heathkit triple output power supply, which has, of course, a fixed 5 volt, 1.5 amp output, and 2 was it half amp 0 to 20 volt outputs that can be either independent or they can be, shall we say, ganged together, you know, for with it powering with it, shall we say, operational amplifiers and things like that that'll they use identical positive negative power supplies voltages. This is my brother's with a Beckman multimeter. I'm not sure where my newer was it WaveTech multimeter is. I'm still hunting that down, you know, because I misplaced it somewhere. I was using it one time, you know, the last time I used it. I also have, which is part of my test equipment. Now this is a X-Tech with it temperature probe, you know, infrared, of course. You know, it reads temperature in both, Fahrenheit and Celsius. But for doing electronics work, you don't use the Fahrenheit scale, you use the Celsius metric scale. You know, when you want to take measurements of temperatures, or was it coming off of thermal heat sinks and things like that. And I've got a an old Radio Shack Logic Pro. Logic probe, you know, is it still good? I still use it. Then down here is another instrument, which is actually it's a single output power supply, 0 to 50 volts. You know, that works pretty well. You know, they power electronic projects. And then, sorry, I haven't. I've got to clean up that corner of the bench so I can get my Hewlett-Packard DC to 500 megahertz 68-channel digital logic analyzer. You know, to reset back up again. So that's another piece of equipment that I have. And this was a thing in the wooden box. It's what's known as a Varley cable tester, but it doesn't work that way anymore. So it's only good. It's only good now for being like a precision resistance decade box. Well, anyways, that's just some of my workbench. You know, with it here. You know, with it. You know, as I wanted to show this to my Asperger autism friend Kyle out in Ohio, and also my Asperger autism friend Jim. You know, who's also out in Ohio. You know that Kyle was you can call him a technician, engineering tech type person, you know that. And my Asperger autism friend Jim in Columbus, he used to be he was trained as an electrical engineer, and so he's pretty familiar with all this stuff, anyways. I have the other friends of mine who are also on the autism spectrum, who are also techies, like me. Oh, last thing I forgot to mention is that I have a old, junked Vacutran 5 with a silicon wafer handler robot that usually sits inside a vacuum chamber. You know, that this is has an almost 360-degree with a rotation axis. It has a radial axis. Of course, the type of arm set it has on it is the bisymmetric arm, patented by Brooks Automation, for transporting 2 silicon wafers at a time. And of course, it also has a Z-axis, you know, with it up and down, but the Z-axis only goes up and down 1 inch. And of course, this robot, in order for me to really fire it up again, you know, I've got to go with it, try to remember where I placed the big 24 volt to 5 volt DC to DC converter brick board, you know, that plugs into the bottom, and it needs a 24 volt DC at 21 amps in order to operate. And I should also mention that I have a one of these old Radio Shack electronic learning lab. Was it thing for kids? You know, was it for teenagers? You know, was it that I have? Was it that has got some common stuff? You know, was it useful? Was it the breadboard? You know, that 3 different value was potentiometers, some push button switches, rocker switch, 7-segment LED, some regular LEDs, you know, up here, speaker, transformer, and like a buzzer, you know, within the meter, and a light sensitive photoresistor was it. You know, I could do some stuff with it. Also, I could tinker either with doing digital circuits or analog circuits with this breadboard.